What up, everybody? Yesterday I was talking about the reason why Kanan never defeated Ghost, and this is because he failed to master the art of timing. A lot of y'all were in my comments saying that Kanan did defeat Ghost through Tariq. But y'all were a day ahead of me, not knowing I had this video prepared for today. Either though, in my personal opinion, neither Ghost or Kanan won, because living is winning, like Boosie Bad says. I think it was Red Auerbach that said, the best revenge is to outlive your enemies. But today I'm going to talk about how it was Ghost's fault that Tariq got in the drug game, not Kanan's and not Tasha's. It's Ghost's fault because he failed to execute Law 15 of the 48 Laws of Power. Crush your enemies totally. Instead, Ghost let Kanan live over and over again. The 48 Laws of Power says to crush your enemies totally. Your enemies don't wish you well. They only want to eliminate you. So you must crush your enemies as totally as they would crush you. There is more to be lost by stopping halfway than through total annihilation, because your enemy will recover and what? Seek revenge. So let's take it all the way back to the early 2000s. Kanan was running the drug crew. He had his own car wash and was doing real good for himself. Ghost and Tommy were his runners and his corner boys. Ghost and Tommy had an idea that they kept coming to Kanan with, but Kanan wasn't hearing it and kept shutting them down. So Ghost and Tasha came up with a plan to eliminate Kanan, so Ghost would be able to take over and run things his own way. Tasha's plan was to kill Kanan, completely wipe him out, eliminate the possibility of him ever returning to seek revenge. But Ghost loved Kanan like a brother and didn't have it in him to kill Kanan, so they decided to send him away to prison for a long time. Ghost had to make a run and told Kanan he couldn't do it, that he had an emergency. So Kanan made the run, but earlier that day, Ghost had already unscrewed one of Kanan's taillights. Then Tasha made the anonymous tip, and the rest is history. Kanan got locked up for 10 years for possession of cocaine and a firearm. So everything was all good. Ghost had 10 years of prosperity. Ghost and Tommy started a laundromat chain and became the biggest drug dealers in all of New York. Ghost and Tasha's twins, Tariq and Raina, went to a private school and grew up living a privileged life in a penthouse and had no lack for anything. They planned on lying to the kids and never telling them about where they came from or what they really did to make all that money. I believe it was Ghost's plan. By the time that his children would become adults, he would be out the game and 100% legit. It was around this time that Ghost opened up Truth Nightclub. But the 10 years of prosperity was over, and it was time for the reckoning. On the same night Truth opened, everything began to fall apart. Kanan set a man Miguel up to rob Ghost and Tommy's shipment, and things only got worse from there. If Ghost would have crushed his enemy totally and killed Kanan like Tasha told him, none of these problems would have happened. Kanan himself even told Ghost when Jukebox kidnapped Tariq that Ghost should have killed him. That all the problems that he was going through was because he didn't kill Kanan, but gave him a chance to come back for revenge. But even at this point, the harm was still minimal, something they could recover from. And now Ghost was finally given the chance to finish the job on Kanan once and for all. Tommy set both Kanan and Ghost up, but gave Ghost the drop. All Ghost had to do was shoot Kanan in the head and walk away, and it would be over. But Kanan knew how to play Ghost and used Ghost's morality against him and said, "How are you going to shoot me? I ain't even strapped." Like, what did that have to do with anything? Ghost was there for a job, but put Kanan against the wall to search him instead. This alone tells you that Ghost didn't have it in him to pull the trigger on Kanan. Then Kanan knocked the gun out of Ghost's hand and he had to fight for his life. Ghost won the fight and left Kanan to die in a burning building. But Ghost again failed to finish the job. I think Ghost subconsciously wanted Kanan to survive some way. He could have easily got the gun he initially had and put one to Kanan's head, then burned the building down. I believe Tasha even subconsciously knew that Ghost didn't have it in him to kill Kanan. That is why she never really believed that Kanan was dead. She already knew from the jump by her instinct that Slim was Kanan. She just ignored it because Tommy told her also that Kanan was dead. The thing is, Tommy wasn't really even convinced either. He also subconsciously knew Kanan was alive. That's why he had an order out if anyone from his organization were to see Kanan to shoot him on the spot. And we know how it played out. Kanan survived and Jukebox convinced him to make a play against Tariq. So Ghost already had 2 opportunities to crush his enemy totally and failed. Now he left the door open for Kanan to manipulate Tariq. Then after Tariq had been hanging out with Kanan and learning about that life, Jukebox kidnapped Tariq. And we already know Kanan killed Jukebox to save Tariq, then let Ghost and Tariq live. One of Kanan's big mistakes. Then just a few months later, Ghost and Tommy and Kanan were all back running together like it was all good. But Ghost didn't know that Kanan was still in communication with Tariq as well. Ghost had a 3rd opportunity to kill Kanan before any damage could be done, but again, he did nothing. So by the time Tasha decided to set Kanan up, it was too late. The damage was already done. Kanan done created a monster. We can also look at it like this. If Ghost would have killed Kanan, even after he came back around, working with them to kill Dre, at least at that point, when they needed someone to frame, he would have already been dead. Then Tasha wouldn't have felt the need to use that opportunity for her own personal agenda to get rid of Kanan, and they could have framed Dre for Ray Ray's murder, and the plan would have actually worked. Then if that plan would have actually worked, Tariq wouldn't have had the need to kill Ghost. But at the end of the day, look at it this way. Tariq did what neither Kanan or Ghost could do. He is the reason why Kanan was killed by the cops, and he is the person who killed Ghost. So even though at the end Kanan and Ghost had somewhat become friends again, the seeds were already sown. One other mistake Ghost made, before I go, was putting Tariq at a school with no basketball team. Before Tariq got into the life, he was always at Basketball City hooping and working on his point guard skills. If he was actually part of a team, it would have been harder for him to get pulled into the life by Kanan. And before I go, one side note, when Jukebox kidnapped Tariq, Ghost and Kanan robbed Tommy's stash house for I think around $500,000 and even killed one of Tommy's men. I know Tommy understood why Ghost did it, but when Kanan came back around, Tommy never once mentioned it to Kanan. So we know at least one person Tommy was afraid of. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.